Hello and thank you for joining us at the book signing of Robert Tenison, held in aid of UDYCO, the San Roque registered charity, with the book. The fast-paced thriller is called Deadly Secrets, and the story centres around the sale of a large piece of land by a local businessman. Bribery and corruption is rife, and what happens when UDYCO, the Spanish police's organised crime unit, gets involved, enlisting the help of a long-standing expat, but only in order to entrap him, well, you'll have to find out yourself by reading the book. So, let's meet the man behind the thriller. Robert Tenison, what can I say about you? Commercial investment banker, freelance business consultant, until founding an online recruitment company, until eventually settling in the financial services sector. What persuaded you to put pen to paper and become an author?
Oh, well, I mean, the fact that I've wanted to write virtually since an early age, a novel. And when I was in the Cayman Islands, I started a novel. I was 24, but I didn't have enough knowledge or experience about what I wanted to write, or the confidence, really, to do that. So I thought I'd better acquire a bit of experience. So off I went, a bit more banking, a bit more travelling, a bit more working, till I had enough experience.
I hope not a bit more crime.
No crime. Not that I would want to admit in public, anyway. So I was just gathering experience and waiting for the moment when it was appropriate to write, because it's actually quite a difficult process. Some people think it's easy, but it isn't.
And you've made crime and corruption the subject of your first book. You must have been inspired because that is so.
How can you not be inspired if you live in Spain? It's a bit of a long story. I'm Anglo-Spanish, so my parents are Spanish. I was brought up in England and born and brought up in England, but I have a long history connection of doing business in Spain and been living in Spain quite a long time.
So you know the manner of doing business down here as well.
I've seen them come out from Franco's time to democracy, to the EU, to where they are today, which isn't a very nice place. And I've learnt a lot about the Spanish and how they do business. And corruption is, unfortunately, an fundamental underlying part of Spanish society, especially when it comes to property. But when you've lived here a while and you've been a banker and you've been involved in property, all these elements came together, and you sort of think, well, I know about how to move money around the world. I've lived in the Cayman Islands, I've done banking, and I know about property in Spain, I know about the legal system. All the pieces of the jigsaw were there, and so it was a matter of pulling together the pieces of the jigsaw and saying, well, I can write a book, a novel around this. I didn't want to do an expose.
And you've enlisted quite a few professionals in the various trades to aid you in the research as well. Was that difficult to get them on board?
No, not at all, not at all. In fact, if anything, I knew, people say to me the book is so well researched and you must have done a lot of work in researching it. And as well, actually, I knew a lot of it. Some of it was just updating things that I knew. And I already have a lot of contacts in lawyers. Strangely, the Spanish policeman that helped me with some of the procedural work, I met in Argentina. I went to write the first 30,000 words in Argentina because I needed to get away to find some time and space to do that. And I met him at an airport. We were delayed on a flight. And I just started talking. He said, what are you doing? And I said, oh, I'm here and I'm writing a book. And he, what do you do? I'm a policeman I'm a chief inspector in Barcelona. I said, oh, well, I'd sit down. And our flight was delayed. So we sat and spent 2 hours and he was telling me all about what happens when somebody dies and things like this. So
incredible that he just fancied coming on like that.
That was incredible. But the legal things, I know a lot of lawyers and I know about banking, so it really wasn't that difficult. The real research was in how you kill people, because I've never done that. So to be able to write credibly about it, you have to research. That's the great thing about the internet. You can very quickly pick up how things work.
But you've had so many great write-ups and brilliant comments about your book being a first-time book, and being marked a page-turner already.
Yes,
so people feel very enthusiastic about it. Do you have many plans for a second or a sequel?
I do. It's all mapped out. And it's quite appropriate that we're sitting here in a bodega or a wine shop, because it's actually going to be based in La Rioja, and it's going to involve common agricultural fraud involving common agricultural policy funds and ETA. So I've just got to find the time to sit down and write it. And it might need a bit of research, which means going around a few wineries and, killing people in a winery or finding interesting ways, drowning in wine and things like that. I'm playing around with some ideas.
Drowning in wine. Oh, that is very much the name of the rose to me.
Yes, something like that, exactly. Yes, I just have a spin a theme on that. But that's my next bit of research.
You must be absolutely thrilled as a first-time author.
I'm delighted. It's had a lot of good reviews, as you say. It hasn't got a major publishing house behind it, which makes it a bit more difficult. But all the feedback I've had had is fantastic, and I think it's just a matter of spreading the word, as it is with these things. You're in a lot of competition, but I'm very pleased with what the response has been today.
Robert Tenison, thank you very much for this interview today. All the best of luck with the book,
my pleasure.
and we'll see you again in some winery soon.
Yes, I hope so. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
You.